Brian, I mean, you've been through so much, and we're going to talk about your extraordinary bravery and what you've been through since at the hands of Phil Shiner. But was there any comfort in the decision yesterday? Was there any sense of justice?
I actually got a text message from my former CO, who was in command of our operations in 2004 yesterday. And it was a mixture of emotions, really. You know, I was shaking with adrenaline, and you know, it's a small win. I see this as a small win in the bigger picture, because the damage that has been done will always stay. So it's a small win, but it's a big win in the bigger picture, because I know now that, you know, there has been something put into place to stop this happening going forward. For British soldiers. It was 2004, the 14th of May, and it was at 14:30 hours, so it was baking hot conditions. And I found myself in command of the most violent situation, probably in contemporary warfare, with having to close with the enemy, which were heavily dug in and defended. And it was, you know, a command that I received, which, you know, I can hear stick given to me time and time again. It was like, Woody, prepare to dismount, fix bayonets and launch.
Just for those who don't know, not to interrupt your flow, that means that you were in a vehicle.
That's right.
With some relative protection.
Yeah. I was in an oven, to be honest. It was,
an oven, a sweaty
it was 80 degrees, no
yeah.
aircon, an armoured vehicle, which is 33 tonnes worth of armour.
And then you were told to get out, expose yourself, put bayonets and go into direct open warfare, which hadn't happened since World War II, Falklands Islands,
that's
maybe?
Right. The Falklands, yeah, they had good elements of cover and protection, but this was open desert with a few irrigation ditches that we could use to best effect. But I was 23 and a young commander at the time, so I was still wet behind the ears and learning my trade also. And I didn't get it right. You know, the commands on the ground that I issued, you know, were through some of my, you know, life careers through the military and leadership sort of skills that I'd been sort of given. And yeah, I made decisions and committed and went with that. And you know, I remember getting on my last bound position before we went into the main position, which was heavily defended. It was like there was 15 to 20 militia within that one position, with serious weapon systems that were engaging us. And before I went in, you know, I realised that these were actually human beings, but I knew my intent, I knew my mission command, and I had to do my job. But it changed in a split second from us going in kinetic full violence to a number of them surrendering on that position. So it went from one switch to another so quick for obviously disarming and disorientating the prisoners of war on that position. And
one of the things that Phil Shiner tried to accuse not you personally, but people of, was that once they surrendered, then the armed forces carried on and should have done something differently. That was one of the allegations, wasn't it? Proven unfounded or sorted. And that was a very cruel thing, because you were all making the best decisions in a very violent war situation.
Making decisions in extreme circumstances with a split-second judgment when you've got lives at stake, you know, is very demanding as a 23-year-old commander, you know, junior commander of that, and doing it without sustaining any casualties.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be someone looking down on us that day, because I still, to this day, do not know and understand how we didn't, or anyone on the battlefield.
Well done to you for leading that.
Well done to my men on the ground also, because, you know, I've got to go back to them. They're the boys, you know, who are with me. I don't know how I coped, because I was going through a situation in my life where I had to, you know, mindset in the face of adversity and really grab a focus before I end up, you know, going somewhere where I didn't want to be. And I turned that focus on young kids, sports coaching, cycled across America to raise funds for injured soldiers. So I you know, tried to change my mindset, but he punished us in a way that no one will ever know. No one will ever know what he did to us.
And other friends and people that were there on that day have got marriages broken up and things.
I said it at the beginning, I speak for everyone, and you know, I'm lucky to to still be, you know, very happy with family life, and it's great.
Well, look, we are very lucky to have you in our armed forces in the first place, and your fellow soldiers, and to be here today as well, Brian, and sharing your story. You know, it's difficult for you to talk about. It's the first time, but you've got every right to be very proud of these medals that you've won and the service that you gave.
They're for the guys, you know. That's just not me as an individual. That's representing my regiment, PWRR, who are amazing, and the guys who were on the ground with me that day. So,
brilliant.
and thank you for having me here. I mean, this is like starstruck material. I mean,
Thank you.
No,
Thank you
it's
for all that
brilliant.
you
Thank
do
you.
for all of us.
Great to
no,
meet you, man.
thanks, Ben. Thanks,
And
Kate.
good luck for the future.
Thank
now.
you.